I think the thing that's really stood out for me with Shree is that it's the deal. And that's what he's looking for. He's looking to get himself a bargain. I don't think he's going to buy unless he feels he's got extremely good value for money. Apply for one credit card. Don't apply for 2 or 3 credit cards.
Be picky.
Absolutely. Also, make sure that any current bills that you've got are at your current and correct address. So if we've recently moved away from the parents, for example, make sure we've taken the mobile phone bill with us so it doesn't look as if we're living in 2 separate places. But I'm assuming because if mum and dad leave the money in the bank, they're going to get interest on that, so they're going to obviously want to levy a charge against you.
I would guess so.
Money's costing from her mum and dad for a kick-off, and she certainly needs to do a bit more research in how much she's going to have to spend with all the little incidentals such as the legals and the survey costs and all the other little things that she's clearly not got a clue that's coming her way. At the very least, you need to get something down on paper, make sure you're both happy and sign it. I would even consider getting some legal advice. Might cost you a couple of £100, but it might just give you that extra sense of security. And you know, if your parents can't lend you the cash, they could always stand as guarantor for you. As well, it doesn't matter what you're buying. Charlotte has a right to know how much you're spending, and you have a right to know how much Charlotte's spending, because you need that level of trust so you have the same level of understanding. Hold on. Let's just do a quick check of the math here. We did have 8. We put 500 down, so we've got 2.
Oh, no, I might put £600 down.
So you might put £600 down. OK, so we put £600 down for the wedding. So we've got 200 quid. And this is frustrating for me because I can see that you two can do this. There's money floating around everywhere. Now, I know the house is important to you, but you're not giving it the same level of priority as the wedding. The rest of this year, the house is the priority. Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get married or even doing your nails for that matter, but if that's the priority now, then clearly now's not the time to be buying a house. So I can see that John and Charlotte really do want to get their first place, but now is just not the right time. The asking price is 95 now.
Yeah.
So we're essentially going to ask them to shave off the thick end of 15,000. I can kind of see the response that I'd want to give you at this particular point. Now, it might be better, and this is just something to think about in terms of how you want to present yourself to the vendor, and in particular the estate agent, as a serious buyer, that you consider coming in maybe. The remaining 75,000 is what we'd need to find through the traditional mortgage route. So you could look at a variety of different lenders through banks and building societies and borrow that on a traditional mortgage. Pointed with John and Charlotte at the moment. They've only got a few £100s in the bank currently. If they listen to me and sell the car, they could really get themselves well on the way to a deposit. And if they start taking the advice that we've given them on board and start spending less and thinking about what they're doing with the cash, they could make great strides. But I'm not convinced they've got it in them to do what it takes.